Thom Hartman put a video out called "What If There Is No Cure for COVID-19," and I thought it was a really great idea, and I wanted to make a video myself. We really haven't faced a major pandemic like this in the last 50 years. AIDS, hepatitis diseases, all of those, but we have not had a major novel virus. We've also never had a president that had such an opposition to science and the correct operation of government. We're finding out he's breached over 10 times. And that it was even here in January. The first deaths were in January. The point I'm trying to make is there's no cure for AIDS, no cure for SARS, no cure for MERS. There's a lot of diseases out here that we talk about on a regular basis that we deal with. There's no cure to. And the treatment isn't even that good. That's why we get shots. Things like that. Thom Hartman has a point that there may not be a magic cure. There may not be a poof cure. May not exist. Two things here. I go back to I've always believed a pandemic it was on the top 10 of my list. Pandemic. That and economic recession, global depression, that kind of thing. We may face both. I don't think anybody who wrote the white papers back in 2000s and the 90s and the 80s figured you'd have this many people just deciding to not cooperate with officials. And also what a long-term pandemic would look like and how people would respond and react. Not 3 months, not 6 months, years. I want to say that part. Let's move on to the next part. Secondly, there's like 20 or 30 strains of this thing. See, the one thing Trump don't get or Trump don't care about is that this is a rapidly evolving health crisis. My dad don't get this either. So what we knew last month, we don't need ventilators now. And Trump's like, well, they beg for this. Trump doesn't get it that we're learning as we go here. The doctors don't know everything. Dr. Fauci doesn't have a crystal ball. He doesn't have a crystal ball in the back room where, hey, look, in 3 months there will... No, none of us have a crystal ball. We're going to look at our history and what viruses and diseases normally do, and we pick a play. We make a play, but we pull out the playbook. We make a play, and we go from there. But sometimes you got to do an audible. Sometimes you got to shift the line. Sometimes you got to make plays on the fly, baby. That's the way it is. And Trump, I don't know if he just doesn't care or if he really doesn't get it that when he talk about ventilators, we don't need ventilators now. I'm not sure he gets that, Part of me thinks he's just bullshit, and he's talking to his base, and most of the time he's trying to tell them it isn't a big deal anyway. So he's telling them, hey, I'm doing all this stuff. I don't really have to do it, and wink, wink, nod, nod, white man, it's isn't that serious anyway. That's the whole narrative of white supremacy is, I'm doing this. I don't even have to do this. I'm cooperating in society. These niggers, these women, these spics, I don't have to cooperate with them. That's the whole mentality of white supremacy. I don't even have to talk to these niggers, these shitbags, as they say it. I don't even have to tolerate them. I'm just doing it to be nice. Not I'm living in society with people, so I have to respect them to get respect back. No, I'm going to carry a rifle around on my back everywhere I go, and if anybody steps on my toe or cuts me off at a parking space, I'll murder them because I can, because I'm a white man. If I want to go into Walmart If I want to go, I mean, I used to joke about this, but we're having white men go into Subway with rocket launchers. One guy had a 50 caliber machine gun, another one had a shotgun. I mean, this is serious business. It's a serious business. But that man has a good point. You know, going back to it, him talking about the ventilators, now we don't need them. He talks about they're going to have a vaccine before the end of the year. I don't believe that. Not at all. I don't believe we'll have that by spring or summer of next year. But let's just say they did. This thing could mutate. And what that means is the vaccine you make may not work on the mutation. Also, this thing will probably be worse by wintertime. I'm not even hearing anybody talk. That bothers me. I'm not even hearing anybody talk about that, about the next wave. A lot of parts in this country haven't even seen their first wave yet. Like I said earlier, part of me thinks that COVID-19 had to happen to show these crackers, to show us how nasty and vicious these crackers really are. And just to make it clear, I don't hate Republicans. Nothing wrong with being a Republican. But this is what they do. They don't care about other people in society. They don't value other people's lives. They don't care. They want their guy to win. And so nothing else matters. And I think I really believe that the protesters and Trump's collaboration with the protesters, I think that's really hurt him down the road. I think that's hurt the Republican Party, period. I really do. It didn't have to be like this. I mean, if they had just went out here with guns and been like, I have a problem. I think some areas they just went out there with flags. But you and I both know that's not what got put up on TV. Got put up on TV was blackface contests and men carrying around rifles and men busting into the State House in Michigan, bang on the door. That's what will stay in my mind, hearing them white men bang on the door. And I'm just thinking, what if a bunch of black guys did that? Like, what if a bunch of black men went up to the government center right now and were like, fuck it. We're coming in the courthouse. We're all armed. We got weed in the pocket. Fuck it, you letting us in. Can you imagine what these crackers would do? Almost slobbered, excuse me. Can you imagine? I mean, I remember when Alex Jones was talking about white privilege and how he's making jokes about it. And it's like, I look at these things and I'm like, wow, how are you guys going to pretend you don't have white privilege now? Nobody else could do this but white men. Nobody. Nobody else in society could run up to the State House with a rifle and survive. Nobody. Period. Arabs couldn't do it. Nope. No one else could do it. I don't care how many coons you find to put up in front of me. I don't care how many Kanye Wests and Candace Owens you find and gun girls you find. Black people couldn't do that. Period. That was a fresh shit. Yeah, black people couldn't do that. And if you think otherwise, you're stupid. You're stupid. What will second wave of this look like? What will be the response to it? It as I said, it seems like no one's talking about it. And Trump's just pretending as though it's going to go away. That bothers me. It's that. Peace.